Hey everyone, Rick here with the Ditch Pig. Welcome back to the channel. For all you new viewers watching me for the first time, welcome. Today we're going to be looking at a parcel that I just received. I'd like to give a shout out to my brother Nathan in Alberta. He shipped me this today. As many of you know who have been watching, I had an output shaft failure, and he has sent me a replacement shaft. So yeah, if you've seen the other videos, you already know that I took the other output shaft out of my spare T-case, which ended up being cracked. I put it in anyway, and I did hook up the front dry shaft, the old dry shaft that I had, which it's kind of clunky when you use it. I hooked that up just so I had four-wheel drive if I had to have it. Oh yeah. So one of the upgrades for output shafts is 32 spline, and that's what this one is, right? The one that's in the truck is 10 spline. So yeah, I'm gonna throw this in the truck. Came with the cardan 32 spline cardan yoke. So I'll give a shout out to my brother Nathan. Thank you very much for this. This is gonna fix the issue and hopefully keep it from breaking in the future as easily. Nothing is bomb-proof 100%, but yeah, that's awesome. Really appreciate that, bro. I'll get that thrown in, and the next step will be to fix the dry shaft. That's what we're going to look at today. I haven't torn this apart yet to figure out what exactly is going wrong here. We're looking at it's binding up, so I think that ball joint inside the cardan, inside of here, is messed up. So that's what we're going to look at today. I'm going to pull this piece off, take these U-joints out, and investigate what's wrong. Once we determine that, then I'll go to Tom Woods, order some parts, and get it fixed up, because we need to get this back in use, fully operational. Like say right now I'm running the old dry shaft with the cracked 10 spline output. That dry shaft there works, but it clunks when I run it, and it has something to do with the cardan too. Okay, so I'm just taking these clips out of the U-joints, get this tore apart, do a little investigation to see what all is wrong with it. Okay, getting this thing apart, trying to figure out what exactly happened to it. This piece here all looks copacetic. Ball looks good, but this piece here is pretty bent. It's just kind of a dust shield thing, I think, but the post that's in there is definitely bent. So yeah, that thing there is pretty messed up. Alright, I'll give you a peek at this. See that post in there? It's folded over. That's supposed to be straight up and down. So, not exactly sure what I'm gonna do with that, but you gotta take this off, cut that off, and replace this whole piece. Okay, so as you can see, this is completely shoved that way. This is broke off. It's cracked here, bent that way. It bent this piece down. So this is toast.
She gone.
So this whole thing has to be replaced. She did not like the impact of it breaking. The output shaft breaking. So yeah, that's where we're at with that. I'm gonna give Tom Woods a call and see what it costs to buy that piece. Tell them what happened. See what they recommend to do, and go from there. Okay, so I phoned Tom Woods, dry shaft, custom dry shaft in Utah, and discussed this. I've got to buy this weld-in CV yoke, the ball stud yoke, and he said it was a good idea to buy this again. Yeah, so I think what I'll do is, if I can get the cash together, I'm going to do both dry shafts, because that's what's wrong with the other dry shaft, is something in the cardan. So I know that this part is screwed because these are beat oval, and this is probably just wore out from being old. So I think I'll try and get the parts for both, and then take them down to Glenn at Heritage Machining and see if he can weld those in for me. For prices, we're looking at about $90 for this piece. And that's on Amazon. I found around a couple local places it was a bit more, but on Amazon I could get that. That was suggested by John at Tom Woods. He said, yeah, you can probably get those off Amazon, so that's what I think I'll do there. This ball stud yoke, weld-in CV yoke, whatever, that's a little harder to get. I can't find it on Amazon, but Parts for Trucks says they can get me a couple, and they're about $95 plus tax and freight. So I'm gonna have to start saving my pennies and get these fixed, and then we'll be good to go again with those. A couple other things that I gotta address in the near future. If you look at the knuckle there, we've got issues with the axle seals leaking. They've been doing it for a little while. Both sides. That side's not as bad. This one's bad. If I park on a hill, I've got diff fluid on my tires. So I priced those out. They're like between 20 and 30 bucks for the seals. And then I got to pull both axles out, the carrier, and go that route, get them fixed up. So that's on the agenda. Another thing, recently I was hauling some wood, and I happened to notice that my gas tank was loose. It was hooked up top here in the cradle, but on the bottom it was broken. And I only had a bolt in each side because it was hard to get the bolts in, but it broke the bracket right off, and on both sides, so the tank could move like this. So I ended up putting the 2 bolts in here for now, so I'll have to pull the tank and weld those other tabs on, get those brackets geared up. I've been thinking, I'm not 100% sold on it yet, but I'm pretty close to it. I think I'm just gonna bite the bullet and get rid of this K20 tank, the behind the seat tank. I might get rid of that and go fuel cell. Looked into it. This is a 20-gallon tank. I can get a 15-gallon fuel cell. I can get a 20, but it's quite a bit of money. But I can get a 15-gallon. It'd probably be about $300 by the time I get the fittings and the tank and whatnot. I can mount it right here, and it's 20 by 18 by 10. So it'd be 20 this way, 18 this way, and 10 inches deep. I'll just build a stand to put it on so it's up. And you can buy a 45-degree filler neck for them off of eBay for like about 50 bucks. So I'll just have the filler here. It has 2 -10s up here. AN fittings for vent and return line. My return is -6, but I'll just buy an adapter. Then it has 2 feed lines on the bottom. I only need one. That's -10 too. So I run -8 feed, so I'd have to buy an adapter for that too. But so by the time I buy the fittings, get the tank here, we're looking at right around the $300 range, and then another $50 to put that filler neck on, which I think I would do because I don't like the one that's flush. So I'm really considering doing that. But anyway, that's just a couple things that are on the go for the ditch pig. There'll be videos to come if I decide to do the tank. That'll be a video. And then the axle seals are a must do. I have to do that because they're, like I say, I park on a hill and the 80-90 weight's running out of the friggin' axle tubes. So yeah, that's it for this video. More to come on the dry shafts. Get those geared up, and once I get the parts. And yeah, so like, subscribe, comment. We'll see you in the next video. Just a heads up, everything that I need to fix both shafts I ordered today, so they'll be shipped. Most of it I think I'll have by Friday, I hope. And yeah, I'll change the output shaft and put the shafts back together and be good to go, which is good because when's that wheeling date?
27th.
27th of this month. Valley Off-Roaders is going to do a trail run, so I'd like to get everything geared up so that we can go on that.